I got a job. Good morning, good evening, and or good afternoon. It's your girl Kesi, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be talking about my nursing interview experience. How many did I have? I've had 5 nursing interviews. I think I had all of them in September, and then I had 2 of them, the last 2 this past week, both of them on October 9th. Let me just tell you about it. I have a lot of footage of them asking me questions. I haven't decided if I want to put in the actual questions yet, or my answers, or I'm not sure, because I've seen online people posting their entire interview, but I don't know if that's legal, so I'm gonna look that up, and then if it is, then of course I'm gonna post everything. But I'm here to just talk to you guys about my experience overall. So I had 3 phone interviews. I have not ever had a web interview, and I had 2 face-to-face interviews. One was one-on-one, and it was supposed to be 2 people there, but it was one-on-one. And then the second one I had later in the evening was 3 people. It was 3 people with me sitting in front of them answering their questions. I had 2 behavioral health interviews, and I had 2 med surg and 1 ICU interview. Most of my interview questions were sort of the same. I can't say they were exactly the same. Only thing that were exactly the same with the 3 interviews that I had on the phone were that they were from the same hospital corporation organization. I didn't interview at Merit Health, but for example, Merit Health is like an organization of hospitals, and they have different hospitals. That's sort of what I applied for. So there was this big hospital organization that had like 3 different hospitals, and that's what I applied for. So I had 3 different interviews for this company for different floors, and I interviewed with the team leaders of these floors. And I'm still in the interview process with them. I'm actually taking a trip there over Thanksgiving break so I can tour the floor and, you know, get a feel for the environment and actually meet these people face to face. You know, like, you want to meet the person you talk to on the phone for an interview face to face. And so that's what I'm doing over Thanksgiving break. But those interviews went really well. It was very, I mean, of course you're on the phone, so it's a little bit impersonal than, you know, face to face, like sitting in front of someone's face and just talking to them like normal. Of course, on the phone it's gonna be different, but I found myself to be a little bit more comfortable over the phone because I'm not sitting in front of them and not seeing my facial expressions. They're not seeing my body language. They don't have anything else to judge me by than my voice, and so that's an advantage. A disadvantage is just not being there and them seeing you talking with your hands, seeing the expression on your face, seeing the passion, and whatever. So yeah, that's the sort of downside with the phone interviews, but they went well. I had 3 of them. 2 of them were for behavioral health. 1 of them was for med surg, and they pretty much asked me scenario type questions. With me, when I answered the questions, I answered most of them relating them to, of course, clinical, because that's like the only work experience inside of nursing that I've had. So I related everything to like clinical, nursing school, group work with my friends and peers in class. I related 2 questions to my ice cream job when I worked with that. So like, you can relate these questions to anything it relates to. So I'm going to insert some clips here and there of questions that I'm talking about. I can't really recall the exact question, but yeah, that's that. I've just decided that I'm going to do some jumping jacks and stuff. I need to warm up my blood and just get it moving, because I work better when I'm worked up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't break your ankle while you're waiting on a call. I just told my friend that I was nervous. He said, "Why? Be you." I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be the person they probably gonna see on YouTube, because, hey, they're calling. Oh my God. Hello.
Hello, is this Norkesia?
Yeah, this is Norkesia.
Okay, sorry, I know I say it wrong. I'm trying.
Oh no, it's fine.
You were interviewing for the GN residency in January, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have about 10 minutes for me to kind of interview you?
Oh yeah. Yes, I do.
Okay. Hang on, let me grab my things.
Okay.
What drove you towards behavioral health?
Well, so I'm just going to be doing some jump cuts, as you see, but during this time she is telling me about the floor and what they do as nurses and how different it is from med-surg, because of course this is behavioral health. So there's that.
I'm going to go straight into the questions, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
The first question is, tell me about a time when you demonstrated compassion when assisting a patient, coworker, or customer. That was a good answer.
Thanks.
Number 2, tell me about a time when you worked with a patient or coworker with a different background or culture than yours. How did you make them feel comfortable? All right, question number 3. Describe the most difficult patient customer service experience you've had to handle, and how did you provide exceptional service? Oh yeah, good answer. Tell me about a time when you participated on a team, and how did you contribute to the team's overall objective? Tell me about a time where you had to adapt to a change in the workplace over which you had no control. Good answer. How do you balance competing priorities and maintain your work-life balance? What changes have you contributed to establish practices to improve patient care? Describe the most challenging patient experience you've had and explain why.
Okay, the most challenging.
Last question. What personal qualities do you feel are important to be successful in this position?
Personal. Okay, so let me tell y'all about my face-to-face interviews that I had. These 2 interviews were at the hospital itself and on the floor that I will be working on. So let me tell you how they set up the interview for me. So I applied, they emailed me back, they were like, okay, we want to set up an interview for you. We talked on the phone, we worked with my schedule and their schedule to see what good days I could come down and do an interview face to face. And it was perfect because my fall break was coming up and we were off from Friday until Tuesday. And so anytime before there, it would have been perfect. So I scheduled it for this past Tuesday on October 9th. They paid for this trip. I chose to take a flight, even though it was a 2-hour drive. Business trip, honey, like why not fly? 2.5-hour drive, and I really didn't feel like driving and having to look for parking and pay for parking. I really didn't feel like going through that, so I was like, I'll just take the shuttle. I'll just do this and that. So I'm gonna put in the vlog footage that I have for this specific interview when I went down there. Made it to the airport around 4-ish. Bought a shuttle to the hotel. Y'all, the hotel was so nice. When I tell you nice. Look at this hotel. So today I am dressed all nice because I'm going on a business trip, like a legit business trip. One of the hospitals that I applied to actually is flying me out so I can have my 2 interviews tomorrow. It is so nice in here. Like, okay. ever. What is going on?
Andy.
Okay fam, so I just ordered some food from UberEats for the first time. It started raining outside and I was gonna and it's actually dark right now, and I'm not trying to make my mama or father have a heart attack, so I'm gonna just order in. It says it's gonna be here in at 8:09. I just walked around the hotel, took some pictures. Actually, I didn't take any pictures, I just recorded, but I'm gonna walk around again, take some pictures. I'm not gonna vlog too much tonight. We just went to the business center and printed off some resumes and my cover letter and stuff, and I'm just waiting. I don't know what to do. Like, this is so weird for me, like being somewhere by myself. Like, I go places by myself all the time, but I've never like been somewhere like by myself where there's places to go and do stuff. And I like want to go, but I know it's not safe to go, so I'm not gonna do that to myself. But tomorrow, of course, I'm gonna be walking to the hospital because it's like right across the street, which isn't bad. So I'm gonna do that. Hopefully it doesn't rain because it rained today, and that's the reason why I'm still here. I may go upstairs and record like a recap of the last couple of weeks. You know what? I am going to do that, and then I'm going to review over some notes or whatever, practice some questions, and research the hospital, get some information about the hospital, and give myself some questions to ask them, and then I'm gonna probably go to sleep. I'm not trying to be super tired tomorrow, but because I am gonna wake up early so I can have time to go to the cafe, get some breakfast, and do a lot of other stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just want to get my mind right, so that's what I'm gonna do. This hotel is beautiful. Like, they really spent some coin on me, so I gotta impress, you know. Like, I'm gonna get this job, I know I am, but we're gonna see. I'll see you later. Now you see that I was living lavishly. I didn't even get to tour the entire hotel because I was just like, I was waiting for my food, one, and two, I think I was doing homework that night, and then the next morning I had to check out early because I was trying to get ready for the interview. So I didn't really get to tour the entire place because I didn't get to see the fitness center or the pool. I didn't get to see any of that. I wasn't even sure where it was. That's how big this place was. So the hotel was so nice. I was just fine with staying in my room. I watched me some YouTube that night, and I went to bed at 9 o'clock the day before my interview. And then I woke up early. I think I woke up at about 4, just automatically, because I don't go to bed at 9, so my body was like, shoot, we good now, you know. I'm well rested. So I got up and I was just on Instagram, I was online or whatever, and I was praying because I had just a doubt. I had a pit of doubt get into my stomach, and I rebuked that in the name of Jesus. And so I prayed for a couple of hours, and then I finally got up and started getting ready. I took my shower, a long shower, because I woke up so early and had enough time to do that. My first interview was at 11, so the last video you see, that was me getting ready between like 9 o'clock, 10, and then I eventually got ready and went over to my interview. Hence the footage. The first interview was for the ICU. I've never had ICU experience other than the NICU, and it was just weird. I don't want to say it was a bad interview, but I'm not going to say that it was like my greatest interview ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know when you walk into a room and leave a room what impression you left. You know either by their expression, by the way they talk to you, by the way you're acting in the situation, you know if that interview went well. When I left the room, I wasn't as confident as I wanted to be leaving the room. You know, like she let me look at one of the floors that I was interested in, and then we parted ways on the elevator. And as soon as the elevator closed, I literally said out loud,
"That was weird."
Because I just knew, like, I think on the inside I knew that position wasn't for me. And so when I got in there, she was explaining the floor and whatever, and I knew what ICU was. Yeah, the first interview did not go well. Like, it felt weird. I didn't feel like myself when I was in there. And the interviewer, she was just like she was asking me questions, looking at my eyes like this. Like, she did not blink. Like, it was like she didn't blink. I know she blinked, but it was just like,
yeah, and we are, and what we do here is, and there's only this.
I felt like I had to look at her like this the entire time. And like, after a while, my eyes start running because I was just like, am I blinking? Like, oh my God. So, first interview was weird. It was just weird. Got that out my system, went back to the hotel, got me some lunch. It was the first time I ever used UberEats. Thank you, UberEats, for your services. This is not sponsored, but if you would like to sponsor me, go ahead. And down below, I'll put my Uber codes if you want to get like a free whatever they offer. We all get Uber codes when we get Uber, so go ahead and use my Uber code so you can get $5 off your first ride, or $5 off your first meal or something. I don't know. Use it. Order me some food. Order McDonald's, y'all. Like, how bougie was I when I was there? I ordered UberEats to bring me McDonald's. That's just because I didn't want to travel. Oh, another side note, I started my period that morning. So like, along with being in this first interview, I was cramping like, y'all, it hurt so bad. Like, I just did not feel well at all going into that first interview. But I did what I needed to do. Got that out of my system, waited. It was like an hour and a half later. I sat around, talked to my mom on the phone. She was very excited. She was like, how did it go? I knew that interview didn't go well because I wasn't excited after it. You know, like how you know you got it before you even leave the room. I didn't have that feeling. I left like, oh, shoot, I guess I'll hear from him. So y'all, I just finished my first interview. I think it went well. My face is really oily, but yeah, I think it went well. You can't tell with a lot of people. It was only one lady. It was supposed to be another guy, but I guess he didn't want to come out. But she was cool. She showed me the transplant unit, and it was chill. This was the neuro ICU stuff. So yeah, so I think it's like 11:30. Yeah, it's 11:30, and I'm back at the hotel. So I'm gonna just wait and order me some food. So, second interview came around. It was about 1 o'clock. I headed over. I think I told y'all in the last video, the hospital was right next door to the hotel. Like, they literally put me right next door. It was a 3-minute walk. So I walked to the building, and I sat downstairs at the cafe and went over my questions and just like regrouped myself, regathered myself for this interview because I knew I wanted this position. This position was the med surg position, and I know that, like, it wasn't even the fact that I wanted this position. I knew this was my last chance to get a job at this hospital, because this hospital here is everything I want in a career after college. They have the STAR-N program. STAR-N was something I really wanted to participate in. I heard about it like a couple of months ago, and I saw this hospital had it, and I looked at videos and read about it, and I just knew I wanted to work at this hospital. It's a teaching hospital, and I just knew I was going to be learning and continuously just, you know, feeding that drive within to just learn. And I have that within me. So I just knew working at this hospital right out of college, right out of nursing school, is gonna be good for me. And so I knew this is my last chance to get this job at this hospital in this program. So y'all, I shook it off. I prayed once again. I posted a picture on Instagram. If you can go see it at KesiMac. I posted a picture and said, while I'm typing this, I'm walking into my last interview, my final interview, and I was just saying, like, I really desire to work at this facility and all of that. And you can see the results. I want to do a later video after I get finished with all the interview process of my other 3 facilities, but you're gonna see if you go to my Instagram, you can see the results of that interview. That's the facility that I'm not gonna say too much. But yeah, I went in that interview with my head high, just the most confident. I felt God with me. I felt his presence the entire time. Like, I was so relaxed. I wasn't as uptight as the first one. And I think what made me even more uptight for the first interview is because when I walked in, the clerk, she showed me to like the conference room or whatever, and she told me, like, I had like, I'm gonna post a picture here of my outfit. I had a strapless shirt on, but I had a jacket over it, so it wasn't like I was all exposed or I was showing cleavage. It wasn't like I was just out here thotting, you feel me? So like when I walked in, the first thing the clerk says to me is, you may want to close your jacket. Make sure your jacket is buttoned. They don't want to see you like that. And like, that's the first thing that rubbed me the wrong way. And then I think after she said that to me, I realized they're pretty uptight. And ICU, of course, they don't want anybody to die on that floor. I'm not saying that I'm gonna kill somebody, but I don't know, I just didn't like the environment after a while. I think that's why I felt the interview didn't go well. I'm realizing a lot of things right now. Back to the med-surg interview at 1:30. I get there, God was there. I felt confident going in. I knew I was going to get that job when I walked in. And I was relaxed. The people in there were relaxed. One lady, she was dressed in her Halloween attire. I just had a thought because I missed the call and she told me she was gonna call me, but whatever. It wasn't from this location, so it's okay. One lady came in a little late and she came in and she was like, I was watching her watch me and I could see how interested she was in me being on her floor. And after a couple of minutes of just interviewing and answering the questions and just talking casually with them, one of the ladies was like, so when can you start? And they started arguing over whose floor I was gonna be on. So like, that's how I knew, first of all, okay, I got this job. And then another reason why I know I had the job was one of the lady who was with the Halloween attire. She was like, so I can't remember exactly what she said, but she said something around the sense of, can we count on you coming to work? And I was like, well, and she said something about putting all my eggs in one basket or something. And I was like, well, this place was my #1. And if I didn't get this, I was gonna move back to where I'm originally from. And lo and behold, y'all, 4 hours later, right when I was boarding my plane to come back home, I got a call saying that I got the job. And it was the most amazing feeling ever. Like, to know that I've been dreaming, I've been praying, y'all, praying for this position. People are praying for me. I've been telling people, hey, pray for this location for me. I am interviewing this week. Pray for me. Keep me in your mind. Keep me in your heart. Keep me in your thoughts, y'all, because I am praying for this position. And not even 4 hours later, like it was like 3.5 hours later before I was boarding my plane. Like literally, I was scanning my boarding pass to get on the plane, and they called me and they was like, well, I'm here to congratulate you that this med-surg floor wants you. And so the position I have is RN, started January 14th at my dream location, in my dream program. And I am so entirely grateful for this opportunity. I am going to continue to do the interview process and like the job shuttle process with my other job interviews that I've had, just to be respectful, because I applied for these positions and it's gonna be really cool just seeing, you know, a different environment. I wanted to for sure tour the behavioral health floors because I mean, I've only seen psychiatric nursing within the hospital that we had clinical, so I think it would be really good exposure for me. But I got a job. I've been through so much and y'all have been here with me through the entire journey, and I am sitting here in front of you 2.5 years later to tell y'all that I just accepted my #1 on my list. I just accepted in a position to the #1 place that I wanted to work after graduation. If the Lord isn't real, what is? If the Lord isn't faithful, who is? Yeah, I am so happy. I am like ecstatic. Like I don't even think I believe it yet. I don't think it's gonna be I don't think it's gonna register. Well, I still have to fill out some paperwork this weekend before Tuesday because that's like my acceptance time period. But y'all, it's just crazy. Like just a couple videos, not couple videos, but like just last year on my channel, I was crying about failing maternal. I was crying about having to retake pediatric nursing. And now I'm about to graduate in 61 days. And I accepted my first nursing job that I'm gonna be starting in about 80 days. And today, as we speak, I'm going to be applying for my NCLEX today. Like, what is happening? I have no idea what's going on. And I can't believe it's happening, but of course I'm gonna have to eventually believe that it's happening because it is, and I'm here and I'm doing it. The Lord is doing it. The Lord is doing it. The Lord been working. I've been saying it for so many weeks, y'all, because he just has. The Lord has been working. Lord, I don't even know what to say. I just want to thank you guys just for being here for me and with me throughout my journey. It's not over, of course. Of course, I still have a little bit left of my semester. I still have some updates to give y'all, and I still have to graduate. Still have to pass my Kesi or my end exam to get out of nursing school. I still gotta do all that. But the Lord is with me, and I know I'm gonna do it. Yesterday when I was driving, I had like a really rough feeling in my stomach, and it was an actual feeling of doubt. It was a feeling that I was not going to pass this semester. Like I have gotten this far, gotten my job, gotten to the end, and I did not graduate. This is what's going through my brain, and I don't know why, and I rebuke those thoughts in the name of Jesus, because I am going to pass. I am going to get out of this semester. I am going to pass the Kesi, and I am going to graduate and start my job. Because the Lord is with me. And I think as long as I stay faithful, I'm gonna do it. Like the Lord will not have brought me this far to leave me. He will not leave me. I don't believe he will leave me, and I'm not going to even doubt that I've just grown within. I've grown as a leader. I've grown as a nurse. I've grown as a student and a woman. And I'm excited to just start this journey, and I'm excited to share it with y'all. Like, y'all have no idea. I don't think y'all know. I don't think y'all know how excited I am. It's just crazy how much I've gone through and where I am right now. And if you don't know what I've gone through and you're new here, check out my videos starting in 2016. That was my beginning. Check out the ones in 2017. That was my rough patch, but I bounced back. And you see, I'm about to graduate. And if you're in that situation as well, know that you can do it. Know that you will make it through. Know that all you have to do is stay faithful and keep pushing, and you will get there. And if y'all would like me to talk more about like the details of what I went through with my depression, if you want to know like the scriptures that got me through, activities that got me through, anything that got me through that rough patch of doubting and just not believing in myself, please let me know in the comments, because I mean, I am willing to share that with you to help anyone. So this camera is about to die, and I've been talking for a while, so I'm just gonna go. I really thank you guys for watching and being here on my journey. Be sure to like this video if you do, and subscribe. Talk to me in the comments and follow all my social media below, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.